everybody, and welcome to Sci-Fi Vision for June 1st for Talisman's Transmissions, our review episode. Sorry that we're a few minutes late, having technical difficulties, but welcome. Thank you if you have joined us. Tonight is our review show for the 6th episode from, of course. Please make sure you like the video, subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision. Why is AJ still invisible?
I don't know. I just noticed that.
I must not have saved it. It is what it is. Just give me 1 second. But if you're joining us, thank you for joining us. Please make sure you thank you, West of Westeros. I trying to hold on 1 second. I can't even click it. Thank you.
Wow, coming in strong.
There we go. There we go. Thank you. Why is it not saving your video? Thank you, West. I don't know what is wrong with this thing. I don't know why it's not adding you. It keeps disappearing for some reason. Let's try a different slot, see if that works better. Well, I know. Hold on. And as I was saying, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision. And don't forget that on Wednesday on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have Liz Saunders, who plays Donna, coming on live, and she'll answer your questions. And hopefully we won't have bad technical issues when that happens. I'm just teasing. But,
hey, Kim.
but yeah, thank you everybody for coming. Yeah, hi Kimberly, RC0. I still don't know how I'm supposed to say that. West, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. And Trey, see you're there too. Thank you for being here. Well, AJ, since everybody kind of heard some from me yesterday at our deep dive, what did you think of this episode? Because I feel like it's been mixed between people. Some people didn't like it. Some people did like it.
I liked it. I thought there were some pretty funny moments. I gotta say, the one thing that I don't want to say bothers me, but I want it to go somewhere is the whole thing with Sophia. Like, she feels like she's just kind of lurking around and kind of like if you're going to create havoc, do it quicker. It just feels this is episode 6. We got 4 left. It's like, do something already. Like, this, I don't know what's going to happen with Henry drinking the blood, but it's just like, I'd like her to be more, like, fuck with more people more often.
Fair. I think part of, I don't know, I've said this before, it's such a large ensemble cast, and I feel like they're struggling to get everybody in. And I feel like this episode, there's a lot of scenes that are really short with people, and I feel like they did it to accomplish that. But it's like some of the characters aren't getting enough, and maybe it would have been better if they just focused on like less. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I know what you mean. Like Elgin. I forgot about Elgin until I saw Elgin.
Right.
I mean, you know what? I mean, this kind of happened with Lost towards the end too. You kept focusing more and more on like the core group,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, and I get it, like it is a large ensemble cast and there's important things, but when the importance of a character is over, I'm not saying get rid of the character, but you don't have to focus on them. I mean, the important stuff is our main people, and that's what we got to focus on. Elgin's part has been played. Does he have more to play? Maybe, but we don't necessarily maybe need to see him for him to be important later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like they were trying to fit everybody in because they haven't been lately, but I almost kind of wonder if that accomplished the wrong thing, just because it split it up even more, trying to fit the other people in. But other than that, I really liked it, but a lot of people thought it dragged, and I don't know if it's just because it wasn't that much action, I guess. And
I didn't think it dragged. I didn't think it dragged at all.
But some people did. It's kind of, I know from yesterday that some people did think that.
I'll tell you one thing. I feel like Bacta is going to be important or do something in some way, shape, or form, because she was like, what was it when she told Elgin, she's like, grab a knife and start chopping something. She goes, it wasn't a suggestion. She just.
I actually love that scene because I feel like
I did too.
thing like with what she did with Sarah when she's like, you've been nice to me. I know you as a good person. I think she's just kind of like, I'm not going to treat you different because you're handicapped or whatever, have one eye
Yeah.
now. You're the same as you were, and you're going to do work. Which I don't know that him chopping vegetables with one eye when he's not used to it is the smartest plan, but
I thought it was funny.
it is funny, but yeah, I'm not sure if it's smart. But yeah, she needs more time. I think they all do. I just, like I said, the more I think about it, I just wonder if them trying to give everybody more time actually made it a little worse.
Yeah. When you start getting,
I appreciate
that's the thing though. When you start getting down to the wire, like we have an end date. We know there are 14 episodes left. When something like that gets set in stone with a production, it's going to happen where you're not going to see everybody all the time.
It's I think the only thing that irritated me on that front though is we didn't even get to see, like, I'm waiting to see more story walking. That's what I want to see, and that's what they're ignoring. Like, I really enjoyed the scenes with Julie and Sarah, but I would have rather seen her story walk.
You cannot have the name Fromaholic and complain. Let me put it up here. You cannot be.
Episode 7 may be a good one or not. I'm out for sure. 2 weeks of waiting. We still on Jade and Colony House basement door plot. Is everything okay? One of my least favorite episodes of the show. Getting tired. Wow, that's really. I'm surprised, and I do
am
think
too.
Weeks worth it, but that's my own opinion. But yeah, I didn't know you disliked it quite that much.
Did you have a bad day from that?
Yeah. Not everything's not going to be perfect. It's not always going to be perfect.
Man, did anybody in this chat watch Lost? Because
yes,
this is moving pretty good compared to Lost.
Yeah. I mean, look, I feel like personally, it's okay. You're allowed to not like it, Fletcher. I feel like it's moving towards a conclusion almost. Like, I don't think that Jade's idea is just going to work out of the box, because otherwise there wouldn't be another season.
There's going to be more to it.
But I feel like, I don't know, to me, it feels like it's moving towards where it should be. I feel like they've answered a lot this season. And I've said before, yes, some of what they answered was more confirmations than outright answers.
Well,
but
like
even that,
like after people die, their biggest fears come to life.
Right.
That's something we've suspected since season 1. And
yeah,
basically a confirmation now.
Right. And to me, that feels like an answer. So yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, see, I can say, like I said, I can say, I think that the next episode, everybody knows I've seen the first 8 anyway. So I do think
14
the next episode is yeah, there's 13. I do think it's built up towards fun. I mean, they all are, but it's not everything's going to be fast moving, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have character development too. And I feel like if they didn't develop the characters at all, you guys would be complaining you didn't like the characters. And yeah, I don't know. Like Donna's my favorite, so it didn't bother me that it took that long. I think that it was.
I almost lost it. I was like, they better not kill her.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and then I started thinking, oh, maybe that's why we're interviewing her after this episode.
Yeah. I thought, in case anybody is wondering, the reason why I tried to set it up after this episode, just because I thought it was such a good episode that featured her, that I thought it was a really good time to do it. But yeah, no. But it kind
of. Hold on, I'm sorry, Fletch. Where'd you learn how to add? If this is episode 6 we're talking about, that means there's 4 left this season.
Yeah, 14.
Get a calculator, man. Get a calculator. I get it. He's so distraught that he can't math.
Yeah.
I get it.
Let's see. Hey, I'm trying to see who else is here. Hi, Fletcher. Yes, hi, Fletcher. Kimberly, Neo. Try to see who else came. And,
I don't disagree with this.
Can we take the focus away from Boyd as well?
No, you know what? I kind of agree. It's like if Boyd isn't involved in every little piece of it, and I get it, he's the star of the show and everything, but I kind of agree. He doesn't need to be on screen for everything that happens.
Fair.
I'd be okay, I mean, it is an ensemble show, so I would be okay with him and Jade doing their thing and Tabby doing something else, and this, and kind of, and everything kind of converging together, having all these different pieces. Like, not for nothing, the first thing I said to Damon when they're Boyd and Jade were talking about going into the caves. I was like, don't worry, Fatima has got a golem that can protect you. Because Boyd's like, I'm not gonna bring people to my deaths. I'm like, the fucking golem. Did you forget, Boyd?
Yeah, if it ever comes to life, I said before, I'm just worried it was more about her creating it than about the actual golem itself.
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
hope,
I think I'd be good either way with it. I think it's gonna come to life, and Fatima's gonna be like, wait, what?
let's see. Just me says, I just think there could be more of a balance between character development and information to keep us satisfied. Yeah, I don't know. I've said before, and I know AJ gets annoyed when I say this, but I feel like when you binge it, it's different. So you guys are having to wait. So maybe that's why
I
I'm
Yep,
not as hard on it, but I don't know.
you're probably right. And I agree. Binging something over watching it week to week and discussing it is a completely different atmosphere. Um,
Yeah.
I always go back to this: watching Lost for the first time, Nikki and fucking Paulo.
We
When they
hated
came on, we hated them so much. We were like, "Oh my god, when are they going away? When is this finally going to end?" They were only in 8 episodes.
Yeah, it
When
wasn't that
when
long.
I on my first rewatch, I was like, "Huh, they're gone already." I was like, "That's not that bad." But when you're waiting, and we also had a hiatus in between, so it completely changes the way you look at things. I mean, if From all dropped at once, I don't think I'd enjoy it as much, honestly, because
Really?
I would just be instant. I feel like it would be instant gratification, and
Yeah,
what would be
I
the
guess
point of our show?
yeah, I was gonna say the bad thing about that is then I feel like people would be complaining because they have to wait longer. Like it's either one thing or the other. But I do think this show sometimes it feels more gratifying to not have to wait just because it feels sometimes like you're waiting a long time for answers. So I don't know.
That's part of the adventure, and I mean, I'm gonna say it. I mean, there hasn't been anything with From that's really turned me. Uh, like, I'm not as upset as Fletch, but and I get why he's upset, and because we all look at things differently. Maybe I'm not because I like From, but I'm not as invested as some of the Fromaholics because I've already done it with Lost, and I said never again will I indulge that far into anything. But
It does make a difference.
I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
Oh, but I don't think I'd enjoy From as much if it was a binge watch.
That's fair. Kimberly says, I didn't care for the Donna scene and felt that could have been removed, but it might be important for later episodes. But I did like that we got Kotri back. I do like that. And yes. Yeah, as for Donna though, I was really worried because they made it seem like she was gonna, die, and then she didn't, thankfully, but they better not do it again. Like it's already
Well,
been a lot. Like quit
I'll say this. I was going to say
worrying.
this until we get to it, but I'll just say it now. Um, at first, like when she wasn't waking up and they stopped, I was like, I didn't believe they were going to kill Donna, but I was like, still on going, they better not kill Donna. And when she woke up, I was happy, but then I started thinking, I was like, and they're like, her vitals are good and everything. And I'm thinking, you know what? I don't think she had a heart attack. I think we're going to find out that it wasn't a heart attack, that whatever happened to her, and she's going to come back with, so this is where I went and this is what I saw type of thing. I don't think it's going to be what we think it is.
I don't know. See, we had a lot of discussion about that last night. I think that a lot of people think she actually died and that she came back, which I could see happening
Yeah.
because it would give us a chance to maybe see more nightmares brought to life. Like if she died, find out what her nightmare is, right? That could be cool. Also, if she saw something, that could be cool. But I don't know. I mean, to me, I was just more like, you better not kill Donna. That was all I cared about. And they've been doing it like all season. Wait, I was trying to see what I missed. Wes said we missed his comment, but I'm trying to see where it was that I missed something.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. While you're looking for that, I remember what I was my train of thought before. Back when we were watching Lost, like closer it got to the end and we started getting worried about it, I kept saying, you know what, for me, because of everything we did outside of the show itself and all the friendships we made and everything, I was like, Lost has really never been about the destination. It's always been about the journey. And I feel like From is kind of like that too. I mean, we've
Yeah.
connected with a lot of people through doing this with From and everything.
Sure.
This is the type of show that has brought together a community of people that otherwise wouldn't have interacted. So I mean, so I don't. I feel like the show's gonna end on it, and not everybody's gonna love the ending.
No,
Obviously,
no, of course not.
nobody ever. At the end of the day, I always say this. At the end of the day, this is the creator's show, and what they write, and it's their story to tell. Whether we like it or not, that's up to each person's interpretation.
I also would rather them write the ending they want than completely change it just because the fans disagree too, because then
Right.
it's not what it
But
was
yeah,
meant to.
and to be fair, endings are hard. They really are.
It's
I
going to
mean,
be hard.
I think there's more shows that I hate the ending of than what I
Then
like
you
the ending
know.
of. Perfect
Yeah,
example. I'm rewatching Fringe, and as I'm sure you remember, I didn't hate the ending of Fringe, but I wasn't a fan. But
yeah,
everything before the ending, absolutely loved. So
wow. Yeah,
we'll see how it
some
goes.
have better endings than others. Wested said, "I need Smiley or Manuel or the Golem or Cave Monsters. Anything. So many monsters, so little airtime." Well, they're already trying to fit in all the characters. I feel like they haven't had as much time for the monsters. There's so much going on too. I feel like that's a big, a big part of it. But um,
I got to fucking
all
flash.
right, I'm gonna
Yeah, let's
start
let's start
these
going
guys.
through the
Start going through the episode, and we will get to some of your comments. But we're
From is making me feel lost. That's a good thing, Fletch.
yeah. If you liked Lost, I guess it depends. Michael says the characters are what make From as good as it is. Yes.
That's what I loved about Lost, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah.
We'll be all night.
No, I don't know. I think yeah. All right. Well, let's get a little bit through the episode, and we'll pick up more of the comments as we get there. All right. So this whole scene is about Boyd not sure if they should go into the tunnels. And I can appreciate both sides of the conversation because I feel like Jade's like, why are you not listening to what I'm saying just because it was on a mushroom trip when you're the one that told me to do it in the first place? Like, why did you bother having me do it if you weren't going to believe any of it? So I can see that side of it. But Boyd's also hesitant, trying to protect people. And he's done a pretty good job protecting people so far. I mean, he's kept the people alive compared to the way it was before he got there. So I can kind of see his point of view too. But he, I think, went a little too far in this episode. Like he's getting too angry and he's chill, but what do you think?
I get Boyd's hesitation, but I like what Katri says to him later. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, just you've got to take chances. It's not about survival. It's about getting home.
Yeah. I guess it depends if you're willing to accept like, your life there. Like it depends if you think it's worth risking it, you know what I mean? Like I would I don't know. Like I feel like if it was me, I'd probably be like I'd rather try to leave and die than stay here the way it is, but maybe not everybody feels like that. I don't know. But they do talk at least about that Jade thinks they have to destroy the bones or not destroy the bones. I don't know. He doesn't actually say they need to find the bones of the kids from down in the tunnels. But he also says that maybe they're protecting them down there, and that's why they don't come out during the day. But because the town was built on a sacrifice, that he thinks that's what's important. So yeah, and then he's like, if I, what will make you believe this? If I show you, if I find the door, I've never been down there in the basement, but if I actually find a door, will that, prove it? And Boyd does say that'll, help. It'll be a good start if he can find the door. I almost feel like, and I said this yesterday, but I almost feel like it means more because there was no door and they found it by breaking the wall than if they had just walked down there and there was a door, right? Because he could have unconsciously known it because somebody mentioned it, or he had been in the basement and didn't, like very quickly and forgot there could have been anything, I feel like. But the fact that there was none and then there was, like, that was a little more to me, a little more powerful. it being gone. Does that make sense?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
Why is my, oh, there it is. Okay, I was going to say it didn't look like the YouTube comments were going. There it is. Yeah, just me. And we'll talk about that more too when we get about it, who sealed the door. I think that's important. Really important. But yeah, we don't know that yet and don't know why they did. I'm kind of like, maybe they shouldn't have unsealed it, you know? Yes. There are tunnels in the basement of old buildings. You can see one in the church basement. I think the tunnels run all the way under the town. I've said that
Yeah,
before. I think they go everywhere. So it could be bad that they've, opened it. Who knows? Although considering the other ones don't seem to be blocked, like in the
I mean, there's
church.
a door, so it's not like it's just a hole and the tunnels
Right.
just come out. You know what I mean? There's a door to keep it.
Right. I just feel like if somebody, I want to say it wasn't really bricks, but stoned it off, that there has to be like a good reason to do that. And
Yes, there is a, yeah.
to
You
not
know what
have
the
ruined
reason? You know what the reason is? For that aha factor when
Okay,
Boyd
that's fair.
there's the door. That's the reason.
I guess that's fair. That's fair. Jay says Boyd is hesitant and a scary cat since he failed the town by exploring instead of protecting the townspeople from Abby. He does feel, responsible for a lot of things, I think, because of that. And that's not gonna, end. So what are you laughing at?
Fletch's comment about Julie
Oh, renovating. Yeah.
renovating a wall.
That's funny. I didn't even think about that. So yeah, they're gonna look for the door, so at least they have proof before they try to go down in the tunnels and take care of the kids' bones if they're even down there. And then we have Acosta here with the Viewmaster. I think the comments with that were funny. Let's see. Thank you, West. I appreciate that. He says, so Jade digs up the bones. Now what does he need to do? What? Take them where? How is this plan going to do for the townsfolk? What do you think he's supposed to do with them? I mean,
I don't really know. I mean, in lore, and like releasing their souls. Because see, I don't want to call it. I mean, I guess it's kind of a theory. I think once upon a time that Fromville was like a normal town, and it was some everybody believing in witchcraft and this and that and demonology and whatever, and you're gonna sacrifice your children, you're gonna live forever. And I think that sacrificing these kids had a side effect that nobody saw, which was kind of like putting this town into like a pocket universe. And I think the kids are pulling people in to save them. And I think if they, if they unearth the bones and release them, then their spirits will be set free, and then and then it'll open the town because the kids won't be pulling people in anymore. I mean, that's a simplified version. It could be, a lot more difficult than that. I mean, burning the bones would set them free. Something like Supernatural. If there was a ghost or something, if they burn the remains, then the ghost goes away because it can finally be released. There's something tethering them to this earth still, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, no. The only what was that? the only thing I kind of wonder though that we did talk about is like, is that only what's pulling people into the town and not necessarily what's keeping there? Because what about if what Marielle's saying is true, and that's a big if, that everybody's stuck there? Like, what about everybody else who's been buried there? Like, could they be also part of that? Like, why is it necessarily just the kids? Could it stop new people from coming in, but maybe they can't leave until they release everybody? I don't know. That's just kind of some of what we had talked about, because yeah, don't know. But they keep saying that everybody's stuck there. Marielle keeps saying that all the souls are there. So it makes me wonder about it. That's for sure. So yeah, Costa's looking at the social media for the Stone Age. I do think that was funny. Down in there, she's still putting everything together because, like Boyd said, they're trying to make a narrative of the people that were in the town before, which probably will at some point end up important, even if she feels like it's busy work. At least I feel like it. And then we have them moving. Wait, let's see. They see all the cases and everything, and Jade gets them to help pull it down. And
all right, Fletch should be the new Boyd. Oh, if I can get it to show. I don't think the creatures are guarding the bones because they leave during the nighttime, so that would give Jade a way to set them free. Use the door at night since they're not down there. That's a brilliant idea.
It is. It is. Um, yeah. Why do they? Yeah, we talked about this. Like, do they come out? If they come out at night, doesn't that mean they're not protecting them? Like, is that a good
Yeah, I
time?
don't
Then,
think they were ever protecting them. I think they just can't come out during the day, and that's where they sleep in the caves. Simple as
yeah.
that.
So yeah, if they're around terrorizing people out of town, that would be a good time to come
Yeah,
down and
there's
get
plenty
them.
of red shirt. Listen, there's plenty of red shirts to use as bait, so the important people can go in the caves.
Yeah. You know what I wonder though when you say that, like, who do they send down red shirts? But then I think about the fact that, like, does Jade have plot armor that he could go down there? Because all of his versions were killed by monster, right? Like, or
No,
not, I mean,
all
not
his
killed by, sorry, I said that wrong. All of his versions were not killed by the monsters. They were all killed by townspeople, supposedly. So does that mean he can't be killed by a monster? Is my question. Like,
No,
does
I
he
don't
have
think
plot
so. I don't
armor?
think
Okay.
that's what that means. I think it just means that that's how he's always died. Doesn't mean they can't kill him. I don't think unless but if they can't kill him, there's a piece of the puzzle that we're missing then. Because
Yeah,
they can
maybe not
kill
so much
because
can't kill him, but
they can kill Tabby, they killed Miranda.
they did. They did kill Miranda. So I don't know. I just thought about that because of the fact, he's like everyone, none of them were ripped apart by monsters. It made me kind of wonder. All right, but at least in this instance, hey dragon, welcome. At least in this instance, we see that there's a wall. There is no door. Boyd just decides later to try to see if there's anything behind it. I'm not sure why he decided to do that other than he hoped Jade was right, I guess. So I guess in some instance he still did kind of believe him, because otherwise why would he have knocked it down? Why was the door bricked over? So does that mean they just opened a door for the monsters to come back into the community house for massacre? Yeah, that's why I said it scares me kind of that it's open now, but at the same time, there's doors in the church. There's doors in probably in other basements. So I don't know. That's why I wonder, like, why is this one special, right? There's got to be a reason why this one was walled over. Um, but yeah, will we find that out? I don't know. Hopefully soon we will. So let's see. So him and Jade argue because Boyd feels like Jade thinks, some people are expendable, which, yeah, I don't know how I feel like that because I want to say no, but at the same time, as like a viewer, you're like you said, let the red shirts go down and figure it out and see if it solves the problem. So I could kind of see a little bit, but I also, like I said, I see Boyd's side, but I do think Boyd got too mad here because Jade may get overexcited and he could even be wrong. But he's not like trying to hurt people. He's trying to help, right? I mean, he's trying to think of a way out and he feels like Boyd isn't even trying anymore. And he does say to Boyd, eventually, how long can you keep these people together? Eventually something's going to happen again, which is likely the case. I mean, they usually don't have people that safe for that long. They did when you first found the talisman, but ever since then, since we
Yeah.
started watching anyway,
Well, I mean,
people
think of
haven't.
it like this. How many people die with you trying to protect them versus how many people die and you save everyone? You know what I mean? It's like at this rate, everybody's going to eventually die the way we're going.
Yeah.
So let's try something.
Yeah. I do though kind of see Fletcher's point of view though. Is it like they're sacrificing people for the greater good? It's kind is it any I mean it is different than what the other people did, but I don't know. It's just
Well, we don't
we've
even know
talked
why they
a lot
sacrificed.
in these
I mean,
shows about
they sacrificed the children for
personal reasons.
personal reasons
Yeah.
to live
Like,
forever. They just didn't.
but
They didn't use the fine print on that.
right. But this goes back to, and we haven't really had too much of this conversation in the show, but we've talked about it a lot on other shows about, the few versus the many. Like, what is more important? Like, if it's more, because even Kenny said in the one episode, I think it was Kenny, said something like, maybe it's not about us, it's about we do it for the next people.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I mean,
needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
yeah, that's kind of where you have to decide. And we don't know what happened in the OG sacrifice, only what we're told. This is true.
We won't know that until we see Julie's story walk back there.
Yeah, hopefully she'll go there. Thank you, Wes. Everybody, please
I
do
don't know
like.
how else we find out unless Tabby and Jade have total recollection.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to see. Yeah, and we talked to like, do we need? I don't think we need a full flashback episode though. Like, I don't want them because there's not that many episodes to spend a whole episode on a flashback. I feel like we already know the majority of what happened. We've been told, assuming it's correct. But some of the things it would be nice to see, and I think like the story walking is a perfect
Yeah.
a perfect way to do it. Fletcher says, I don't think there's a happy ending to this cycle. But I mean, we're watching this cycle. I've said that before. Like, if this cycle doesn't go well, then what's the point of the show? Because if they all die and we have to start over, like, what would have been the point, right?
Well, I mean, sometimes things are about learning from before and doing it better the next time. So, I mean, spin-offs. No, thank you. No spin-offs.
No, but I mean, but what my point is, do you want to watch a show, have watched a show where everybody we know now dies and we get all new characters next season? I mean, I don't want to watch that show, is my
No,
point.
I don't see that. I don't see that happening. But I could see an ending where they don't succeed. But
Yes, at the end.
I could see an ending where they don't succeed, but we have all the answers and understand everything and have to accept the fact that it's impossible to end it. That might be it. They might knock it
Okay.
out. It might be impossible to end the cycles.
Yes, I can see that. I misunderstood what you meant. I'm saying like I don't think they're gonna end the cycle now or screw the cycle up now and have to like start a new one that we'll get to see the new one. Like that would be senseless.
Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that's
Yeah,
what Jade.
it could end badly.
I don't think
there's
that's what Fletch was saying, that they would kill everybody and start. We'd see the
well,
next.
that's where I thought it was going. Okay, I think everybody dies. That's very possible. I mean, I sure hope not, but who knows? It doesn't have to be a happy ending. It has to be a good ending. That's what I always say. Like,
there you go.
as long as it
Right.
is it's satisfying, I think that's what matters. And yes, I don't know that every single person is going to, get out of the town. Maybe none of them do. Maybe they just stop it from happening again. Who knows?
Right.
But
Moving on.
yeah, moving on. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, you never. I'm sorry, I started to ask you, and then I didn't really get an answer from you though. What do you think about the way Boyd acted, though? Do you think that he's getting too worked up? I feel like everything.
I think every week Boyd gets too worked up. I mean, look at what happened with Acosta. I mean, was she a lunatic? Yeah. Did Boyd overreact with it? Yeah. Is Boyd overreacting now? Yeah. Boyd's gonna snap. You can't break me. You want to break me? Come at me. Boyd's gonna lose it.
It's funny though that you see some people walking in the background and they just kind of like ignore what's going on, right? They don't want to be dealing with it. But I kind of wish Kenny had said something.
That's kind of it. I'm going to simplify. I'm not going to read everything Fletch wrote, but I'm going to simplify it. But hey, it went away. People stop typing. I'm going to put this up here now. That would be an interesting way to end the show. Everybody dying and Ethan being alone like Victor was. Is basically what he wrote here.
Yeah. But I also don't want the whole thing to be a dream either.
No, not so much a dream, but just that he's not story walked either, but had a vision of his own future.
That would be really, like she said, morbid if they don't break the curse. Darrell says it's a bit morbid if they don't, unless it's pay forward, like Kenny says, to the next cycle. But we would have to see that. There isn't enough time. Yeah, I mean, we have.
Yeah, I don't think. I disagree. I don't think we need to see it if that's how the show ends. I think as long as we have all the answers so that we know what they're up against, and then we just have to say, okay, well, good luck next crew.
No, yeah, I think she's saying if it's in order to help the next group of people, they'd have to show that. So yes, we'd maybe get a piece of that. We wouldn't necessarily get a whole lot of that, but we could. Let's see. Wes says, I think it's going to be a butterfly effect, and the worst case scenario takes place and everyone dies, or one person wakes up and this was one person's nightmare.
That
All I can say is the writers have said they're not, that it's, real, they're not asleep. So all I can do is, and I've said this before, kind of believe what they say and hope they're not lying. Yeah, you can only do so much. But otherwise, I would say that the theory makes sense, but they've said that it isn't. All right. So, how did you feel about the fact that I'm trying to find where I was here? How did you feel about the fact that he told Kenny off screen about the reincarnation?
Wait, say
Did
that
that
again?
Kenny makes a comment about was it about Tabitha or about Jade? Something about the reincarnation. He says, I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was about the reincarnation. So
Okay.
I kind of took it that Boyd just told him that now, and we just didn't see it, like it was off screen, which is kind of annoying a little bit. I mean, it
We're
made
sure
sense.
Kenny wasn't in one of the conversations?
No, he wasn't in the room in the sheriff's station in that group that knew about it.
Yeah, but that
And
was
that's
but he's
what Boyd says.
in
I didn't want to
I'm
purposely.
okay. You know what? I'm okay with him telling Kenny off screen because Kenny's always been, in the circle. So if he told him off screen, I'm fine with that because I don't need to hear him telling Kenny. I don't need to
Okay.
hear the same conversation again. So
No, it's just we so many times don't see the people talking to each other about it that I kind of would have liked to have seen it. And like I said yesterday, like I could have instead, if they had to pick one, like I didn't need to see Tabitha, Kenny, and Donna's full explanation about the nightmares again because we got that last episode. Like I would have rather seen, a 30-second scene of Boyd telling Kenny just because they never talked to each other. I don't know. That's what I thought, but not everybody was bothered by it. So I guess it just depends. So anyway, basically this is about, Boyd telling Kenny what's going on and Kenny asking if he thinks Jade is right. And he, Boyd does say, well, if you'd asked me before all this shit happened, I would have said no, but now he's not sure. But yeah, they don't really know what to do. But the other part of this is that Kenny shows Boyd the drawing of Victor's drawing of the man in yellow eating Miranda. So at least we're getting some sharing of information, right? Even if we really need to get the one thing we did talk about is like Julie needs to find out somehow that they're talking about the man in yellow. If she would see this, then she would probably tell everybody what happened. But since she wasn't part of any of those conversations, she doesn't necessarily even believe it. And that's what I need. I feel like I need those two pieces to connect, right? All right. So I like that picture. So Victor is on the roof and they are worried, I guess, that he's going to jump at this point, which he had no intention of it. But Victor tells
hold on,
the story.
I got to yell at Fletch actually. Hold on. Julie all of a sudden has a huge forehead because she chose not to cut her hair and had to put all her hair inside that wig. Wrong. She actually said she would cut her hair. The creative team said no in case they want to shoot any flashbacks or anything, and she would need to have long hair again. So it was the creative team's fault, not hers.
Yes. But I know a lot of people hate the wig, and we kind of joke about it.
Yeah, the wig is bad.
Yeah,
not as bad as those wigs on Daredevil, but still pretty bad.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so we have this scene here where I feel like I missed something in between. Did I miss something? Because I feel like I skipped something. Something with Jade and Boyd, but maybe not. Okay, so this is where Victor's telling them a story about a guy that was there that was scared and didn't want to be there. So he jumped off the roof and then he suffered for a while before he died. So, I mean, obviously, Victor not intending to do that. But yeah, I mean, that was just like an awful story, right? I don't know that it necessarily was relevant, but it was really awful.
I think it's just kind of, it's, well, I mean, because it leads into the whole, it starts the conversation about the man in yellow.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of giving, forethought into the thoughts of the red shirts.
True.
Like they can't take it anymore.
But there's also the stuff with Acosta wanting to end her life too, though. So it kind of connects in that way. And hopefully she won't do something stupid like jumping off the roof. Um, because yeah, that could end up a lot worse than clearly that's, it did not go well for that guy. Let's see. Hakimi over 9,000. Not sure how to say that. Ethan will probably show Julie the picture and then she'll know it was real. Julie needs to see one of the pictures somewhere. And Scarlett says Julie needs to at least tell the crew there's a monster out during the day. Pretty important information. I agree. And we talked about this. My only thing is, I think she doesn't think anybody will believe her. I think right now she's so upset Randall doesn't
But
believe her.
why
That's
not?
a
That's
conversation
all
with
right.
Sarah.
That's fair. That is fair that Randall doesn't believe her, so she's afraid other people won't.
And the thing
Randall,
is,
but then again,
yeah,
Randall's a cynic.
yeah, but I don't even know whether Randall believes her or not. I think Randall just wants her to stop because he's worried about her, regardless of whether he thinks she. I mean, I don't think he believes her, but I don't think it really matters. He's just trying to protect her either way, right? So
Hold on. So RC says, "Listen, folks in this town don't talk to each other. That's their problem." Fletch reminds. Oh, that's the wrong one. Fletch reminds us the last time they talked to each other, dude walked out on a pool.
You're right. You're right. You're right. But look, they're talking to each other a lot more this season. I mean, a big group of them now know about the
To
reincarnation.
be fair, shows like
Group
this,
more-
I mean, we used to complain about this with Lost all the time, and nobody talked to each other. And
Yeah.
sometimes, I mean, and it's frustrating to the viewers, but sometimes I get it because too much talking, it's like, well, then the story's over because everybody knows everything, you know. So I mean, but as long as it feels reasonable, like I get kind of that Julie hasn't said anything. I mean, you gotta remember, Julie's 16, so 16-year-olds don't think straight anyway.
No, they don't. But I just, like I said, I just want those two storylines to connect. Like, I don't care so much about the other things. It's annoying to me that Julie's told nobody. And meanwhile, we have all this other shit going down about the man in yellow. And it's like, talk to each other. But I get they don't. It's too easy if they do. Look, if everybody discusses everything all the time, then they figure it out really, really quickly. And that makes it a little too easy. May says Boyd's aware of the yellow suit entity. He's given Victor a quest to remember more. He has asked him. And they go here after Boyd gets him to go inside. Oh, wait. First, before that, we have Julie talking to Sarah. Now, what did you think about this? Because this annoyed me. Like, I really love their scenes together. I think they're great. It's nice to see them together because we usually don't. But Julie's idea of, I know how you felt being ostracized because you almost killed my brother and killed your own brother. I felt like that too. Like, I understand that she's basically saying she feels like Randall won't believe her. So she's kind of equating that with people didn't believe Sarah when she heard things or whatever. But it's not the same thing in any way, shape, or form. And it irritates me that they're making it like it is or trying to make it like it is. I don't know. What do you think?
Because Julie needs stuff straight. I get what you're saying,
Whoops.
but I
was trying to
mean,
bring that
yeah,
back
she killed her brother because she was trying to kill Ethan. But I get it, like because of what she's gone through, she understands. Like, think about it. Now it's becoming the norm, whereas when it was happening to Sarah, people were like,
thought she was crazy, I guess.
That wasn't a commonplace thing. All this started happening after Jade and Tabitha came to town.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I guess my point is that the whole town is kind of against Sarah, and I feel like Julie's like, oh, somebody doesn't believe me, so I know how you feel. And look, it's a 16-year-old. The way she's connecting the dots, it sort of irritated me, but I still enjoyed their scenes together regardless. Scarlett had said Randall doesn't want her to have a seizure and die, but Julie needs to tell people about what she's discovered. Will Boyd ever learn that Julie dropped that rope? Probably not. I say probably not, because when are they going to have this? What would be the point of the conversation? about the rope. I
Doesn't
don't know
even
that.
matter. It really doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I feel like at this point, why would they be having a conversation
I'm
about the
oh, okay,
rope?
no, you know what, though? They could have the conversation. If Julie was to actually go to Boyd or anybody else and be like, tell somebody about her story walking other than Randall, and then it would get back to Boyd, and Boyd would be like, "I need to talk to Julie." And he'd go to Julie and be like, "What's this now?" And she's like, "Yeah, the first time I did it, I met some guy, Martin. You met Martin? I met Martin." She's like, "Yeah, and he told
Yeah.
me to drop the rope." He's like, "You dropped the rope." There you go.
Okay, they could. But I thought if I remember rightly, though, she didn't realize that was Boyd's voice, right? Because I vaguely remember her saying, "Who is that?" and him not answering. So I don't think she knew that was Boyd. That's why I don't think that it'll happen. I don't know. Uh but RC agrees with me. It's not the same with Sarah and
Yeah, I mean, it's
Julie.
not the same, but I
Residue
I
was
I
redeemed by
get
those.
it.
Yeah, no, I get it too. I just it's sort of like I said, it's sort of
I mean, look what
irritating.
happened to Elgin, you know?
Mhm. Michael says Sarah was under control of the voices in her head. She did what they told her to do. It wasn't just her coming up with the idea to hurt people. Also true. Although Kimi, or however you say that, says that she's a hitman. I mean, look, the man in yellow is forcing her, the girl in yellow, whatever, maybe is forcing her to do things. So maybe that is kind of accurate if she does something else. I don't know. Um, I think they're setting up relationships that'll overcome Sophia's manipulations and control over Sarah. That would be cool. I just want somebody to, figure out that there's something going on, right?
They're
That's
not
what we
gonna
need.
figure it out until they see Sophia eating somebody.
Don't say that. That's awful. That's
Uh,
awful.
Victor figured out the man in yellow wasn't a nice guy.
Yeah, true. Sorry you're leaving, Wes, but thanks for coming.
All
And
right,
thanks
moving
for
on.
all that. I want everybody to like it. People do need to like the stream. What? You said, wait a second. What?
No, I said moving on.
Oh, I don't know why I thought you said, wait a second. Okay. All right. So, yeah, so that's the scene about her saying she's trying to paint the bedroom for Sophia. Now, in this scene, where Boyd and Kenny are talking to Victor about the man in yellow, and Boyd wants to know more about him. Victor doesn't want to talk about it. I appreciate that Boyd isn't pushing him because everybody always does try to push him and it never goes well. Like, I don't think he would help them if they start, pushing him again. Um, but yeah, Boyd's smart enough to know that he probably knows more than he said, and that if he can talk him into helping them, that maybe they'll get more information. So he wants him to try to remember. And they talk a little bit about him coming in a brown car, probably by himself. Yeah. So that's what that scene is about. And there are some drawings we talked about last night. I do think, I don't know if it's in this scene or the other scene. The one that's really interesting, I don't think it's here, is there's what looks like a doll with there's like when I get to it, I'll show you after, but it's like a female face and it looks like it's stitched up like it could be a doll. And these are old pictures of Victor. So that's very interesting. And of course, we have the Lake of Tears and what to me looks like drops of blood. I know you don't really deep dive into that stuff too much, but some of them are interesting. And then we have Donna show up and says that she needs to talk to Boyd. And at least she has the forethought to get him away from Henry or get him away from Kenny too. Yes, it does also look like the picture, that the person has wet hair. So it does look like the doll. So how did you like this scene? I love this where she's like, there's giant dolls that crawled out of the lake and attacked us. The way she says it so like deadpan. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, she talks about the totems and that Tabitha killed one of them with the totem, but not before Roger died and Patty got her face burnt. But this to me is like the creepiest thing and freaked me the hell out. I'm also not sure why they laid him on top of the wires in the first place, but Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about this stuff?
I thought it was hilarious looking.
Really? I think it's freaky. That to me is really
I thought it
scary.
was even funnier when Jade saw him. I lost it when
Oh,
Jade saw
that
him.
was
I started
kind of
laughing
funny.
my
Yeah.
ass off.
Yeah. Let's see. Levy Malcure says his eye has blood and not black. This eye has blood, not black. Oh, do you mean the drawing or do you mean here? Because they both look black. I'm not sure if maybe he meant the drawing, and already moved past it. I'm not sure. Um, okay. Donna said the dolls left the human doll and food. So yeah, they did kind of, I guess, turn him into one of him. Turn him into one of them. It seems like. Is it because the one got killed? I don't know, but it is definitely freaky that that's going on. Alyssa said she laughed at when Jade saw him too. Yes. And we had this discussion. Hey, Dieter, how can the dolls with oven mitts stitch them up like that? I think you're just supposed to forget about that.
Hey,
It's
Dieter.
magic. It's supernatural. No, I want to go back here. Let me see if I can find it on the table.
No,
That
not
drawing.
back, forward.
No, I was just going to say about the drawing when he said, okay, where'd it go? Now I lost it. That the eye has blood and not black. I don't know. The eye looks red. It looks normal to me with like veins, arteries or whatever. So I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean there. Okay, so yeah, that's what the totems are used for. They brought them back. They left some of the food. That's what that whole conversation is. And then we have the golem. Now this part I think is funny. What do you have to say about the golem? Other than it's not what I expected it to look like. Is
He's
my
lopsided.
Yes. I feel like, yeah. I mean, we've talked about this already. I feel like these scenes are only important if the damn golem does something. But it's a lot of Fatima.
I think it's going. I think it's going to do something, and I think it's going to surprise the hell out of Fatima.
Yeah, I sure hope so. Because otherwise, yeah, I think it just kind of depends. But now the golem kind of freaked me out more, but it's kind of funny too. I do think it's kind of funny. Golem is posed like, huh? It is like what? Akimi says you think they would burn the man doll instead of having him in the shed. It does seem like probably they should get rid of it, right? The eye in the intro scenes have hands as the blood. Someone noticed the intro is the same. Okay, it's different in the intro. That I would have to look at. I have not. I don't know
Here we go.
which grand
Fatima's grand goal god.
dog. And RC says, "How can it walk? Because it's crooked." I don't know. Hey, Gabby. Yeah, I don't know. But either way, to me, this is the least interesting part of the show. I've said that before. I and if it comes to life, then it's very interesting, right? So it kind of depends. I feel like I was saying the same kind of thing last season about Fatima, and then like suddenly she had Smiley's baby, and it was pretty damn crazy and important, right? So we'll have to see. All right. So next scene is Ethan, who totally, and there's the picture, by the way, of the doll we were talking about. There's nothing a better picture later. But I love how Ethan tries to trick him. He's like, well, if you aren't going to tell me, then I ain't going to tell you, like a normal, teenager does. But yeah, I like the scene. But Ethan
That's what they should have done. They should have built a Golgothan.
What?
I said instead of a golem, they should have made a Golgothan.
What are you calling it?
Golgothan. Have you ever seen Dogma?
Yeah, long time ago. But only because of algorithms, so I didn't really care about the rest, to be honest, back then.
It was the shit monster.
Oh, okay. That would be funny. That I don't think they do that on here, but it would be funny.
No, but that would be great.
Yeah, it would be. So let's see. Okay, so anyway, this is Where did it go? I lost where it is. Okay, so Victor is, drawing like normal to try to forget things, I guess. And it sounds like he's trying to draw what Boyd wants to know because it looks like it's a car. So I'm assuming he's drawing the brown car that they talked about. But yeah, Ethan is at first not going to tell him what happened at the settlement. Then eventually he does tell him about the dolls and says that his mother killed one of them. And that's when Victor says that she's pretty tough, and so was his mother. Now, there's one thing I want to talk to you about here because I brought this up yesterday and I want your opinion on it too. I'm assuming because it's got to be one or the other. It can't be both. At least I don't think, to me, it doesn't make sense. It's both. But, the monsters are the townspeople from before. That's what we've been told.
No, the monsters are the people that sacrifice their children.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The townspeople originally that was what I meant. I guess I didn't explain it, but the original people of the town that sacrificed the children and became immortal, crazy things, whatever. But they're also called nightmare creatures. So it's kind of like, could they be someone's nightmare like all the other stuff in the forest?
That's just what people call them. It doesn't mean.
Yeah, well, that's what the writers call them because that's what it's called in the cast list. But anyway, this line that Victor says kind of made me stop because he says she always smiled even if she was scared because she knew that they would be scared if she didn't. And I know, like last season, I had that theory that like this was all coming from Victor's head or whatever because of sort of the things that didn't make sense. And it just makes me wonder, like, could that be from a nightmare? And that's where that whole smiling thing came from. I know that it was because of Jamie they added it, but they could give reason to it. So I don't know. That line to me like stuck out, and I just need to bring it up. But I don't think that it obviously doesn't make sense if they're the ones who sacrifice the children. So I don't know that both can be true. So yeah. But either way, it seems interesting to me that he says that. I guess not to you because you're not saying anything. So I guess you think I'm crazy. So that's okay.
Didn't give it that much thought.
Okay, that's fine. I just was curious what you thought. Let's see. I was gonna look here, guys. We have like only a little over half of you have hit like. So please, if you're watching, please hit the like button and let us know if you're enjoying this. We always appreciate it. And like I always say before, we'll put you in a box. All right. No, we are not. We're not doing any spoilers, so that's fine. Let's see. Yes, Dieter, as Dieter says, please like, share, and subscribe. Except you can't see the.
One thing that does worry me about the show, somebody just mentioned it in chat and I lost it.
What's that?
The creators have said all along that, like, all the answers are in season 1. And once we know the answers, we're going to look back and be like, oh. Well, one thing that worries me is right in the beginning of the show, Tabitha after Julie kills, what the hell is it? Horace? Cody? Or whatever the little fucking finger puppet was. And, Ethan's all, Mom, Julie killed whatever the hell his name was. And Abby's like, Ethan, it's okay because monsters aren't real. Therefore, so-and-so is still alive. That worries me because we get to the end of this and they're like, oh, none of this is real. That'll piss me off.
Yes, it would piss me off too. But I mean, they've pretty much, the writers have pretty much said that this is real and it's not. Although I guess what does that entail? They haven't gone through every single version of that, I guess. So, but yeah, I think a lot of people would be pissed off if that happened.
Norman, thank you, JT Moore. It was Norman.
Yes, it was Norman. Okay, wait. Where did it go? It was something I think just me said, and now I lost it. It was at our thing here in the starred things. Damn it. Oh, okay. This was about the golem. Maybe the monsters will get inside a colony house and it comes to life and kills the creatures off or scares them. That could be cool. That would be interesting if that happened. All right. Let me go back to the live stuff here. Okay. Let's see. Julie is the one that tells the stories to the kids like she's doing in the pilot. Tabby changed the story like she did say monsters aren't real. Julie telling Ethan the crows would follow him. Yeah. Either way, I hope it's not just a story. They said it's not a dream. They have. Alyssa said, my thought before the whole parents that they sacrificed honestly had the theory that they were some collective of someone's fear, like the strangers or something else. I'm still a bit sus of the parent. Yes. Um, yeah. And they aren't in purgatory. You're right. They're not
You know,
dead. They're not in purgatory. We've heard that.
yeah, all right. So I'm not going to tell you my story because you don't want to talk about your story, and then starts telling him his story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He does end up telling him about the dolls. But yeah, I guess the point is that I was trying to make with this drawing is that if that is the doll, like Victor already drew it, which is interesting, right? Because you can see a better picture of it later, and it does look like the dolls. Just like that to me looks like blood drops and makes me think of what happens in the episode. So I don't know if it's just a foreshadowing technique or it has purpose, or I don't know, but um it's interesting. There it is. There's the better picture. See, it's got like a stitched mouth and it looks like it has wet hair.
If you think
Um,
that's a better picture, okay.
well, I zoomed in. It's sharper than the other one. Anyway, I just think that's interesting. And I know we're not going to go into it too much. I just wanted to bring it up. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna start some of these and let's keep going. Okay. So Henry finds the yellow suit, which is kind of just, I guess, for the purpose of Sophia coming in while he's looking at it. So now she, I guess, knows it's there. But she does follow him into the bar. And I do like their conversation about why is there a gas station or bar inside a gas station. And then he says, why is there a gas station in a town nobody can leave? Yeah, well, kind of, I think, gases kind of things. And it's funny irony. So they talk about the alcohol, and he does pour her alcohol because she says that she's old enough to grieve. Um, yeah, I don't know that he should have. I mean, obviously, she's not really a girl, so it doesn't really matter, but he's still giving somebody underage alcohol. That is what that scene's about, the beginning of it. And she's, I don't know, trying to get him to talk to her or just kind of get him to trust her. So it leads up to, the blood. And then we have Donna and Boyd and Tabitha and Kenny. And this is where I said, like, this to me was not necessary because it's reiterating everything about nightmares and the cicadas, which we already knew. So not necessarily needed. But it's leading into, Dawn is saying, how do we tell people, how are they going to take this? And that is when she starts having the heart attack. And From says 16-year-old drinking with a 50-year-old dude, normal thing.
I got news for you. Henry's older than 50.
Yeah, well, either way, it is kind of not good that he's sitting there drinking with a teenager giving her alcohol. But it's not really, it's neither here nor there. It's not really that important to the story.
It's from Bill.
It is from Phil. But anyway, Donna is, I don't know whether the stress is getting to her and caused it or, but she has the heart attack and falls. And
We think it's a heart attack. I'm not convinced.
Yeah, now that's what I want to more talk about is that you. So what? Explain, because you started saying that before. You don't think it's a heart attack. What exactly do you mean by that?
Sorry, I got pulled into from Fletch. Stop it. Anyway, I don't think I don't know what it is, but I don't think it was a heart attack because her vitals, she wasn't. Yeah, I think it's supernatural. Once she's breathing again, her vitals are normal. Everything's stable, but she's not waking up. you know. And then all of a sudden, when she does wake up, it's like type of situation. So I don't I and she hasn't said anything yet. So I think next week we're gonna find get more information from her. I don't think it was a heart attack because she's not
Yeah, that's
exhibiting anything medically that a person with a heart attack would be exhibiting.
I don't know enough about like what a heart attack looks like to know, but Hakimi says, I still think Dawn is the mole. Well, there could be that, I don't know that I ever think that, but who knows? But Lee says she died. She had a sudden death. It's called sudden death syndrome if the heart immediately stops without a heart attack. And I think that's I think it's interesting because the big conversation has been, did she die and Boyd willed her back? You're saying you don't even think she had a heart attack. You think it was something supernatural, which is interesting in
Yeah.
and of itself. But like I said, I don't know that I think she necessarily died, but I like what that could mean for the story if she did and came back, because she could have information. She could have seen something. Her nightmares could come to life, all those things. And if it was because of what Boyd did and he like sort of willed her back to life, then does that mean they can change things? Like there's a lot that could, that could go into that if she did really die. So I think it's interesting at any rate, but I don't know that I think that's the case.
I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't think he willed her back. Saying she did have a heart attack or anything natural. I don't think he necessarily willed her back to life. I think it's just a TV trope. That happens all the time. Turn on any TV show. Hell, turn on any doctor show. It happens all the time. Oh, they're dead. No, I'm not giving up.
No, it does. You're right. It does. I think it's just because of the way this show is and like things that happen that are unexplained. It makes, like I said, it makes sense that it's a possibility. I just don't know that I think it's a possibility. I'm sorry.
Hold on. This doesn't happen often.
I agree with AJ.
I don't know what he agrees with me about, but I'll take it.
Alyssa said, I like the idea because if she died briefly, her nightmare might pop up. Oops. And Kimberly said that scene reminded me of Lost with Jack and Charlie. We did talk about that a few times. Lee said maybe the town brought her back. People, I didn't hear this. People are now saying Boyd manifested the talismans, Donna, in the door in the basement. I don't agree. Yeah, I hadn't heard that, but I don't know if that totally makes sense. Fletcher does ask though, why would the entity need a mole in town? I don't think, because like the man in yellow is there now.
I think that for some reason. I mean, I've been seeing that since season 1 that people didn't trust Donna. They thought she was in on whatever's going on, and I never understood that. Nothing
I didn't either, but
about Donna made me suspect her of anything.
Me either, but I definitely think because there's the man in yellow, I feel like there's no need for a mole. So I feel like that debunks that. Not necessarily. I mean, it's an opinion, but I still feel like it does. Bill Paul says Boyd willed the door at the end also. So interesting. And what'd you say, AJ?
I said Patty.
Oh, okay, yeah, Patty's up. Wes says, go like the live. Please do that, people. It helps us. Click the like button. Yeah, I feel kind of bad for Patty because they're fixing up her burn and they ditch her to go help Donna, and then they let her sit on the floor. I know people comment on that. She's sitting on the floor.
But Boyd gave. I like when they give red shirts who they just introduced something to do. She got her face burned, and then they sent her off to do something.
Yeah, but it's kind of sad though. Like she's the one sitting on the floor when everybody's sitting in chairs, and everybody just leaves this poor burnt girl sitting there. And then Boyd's like, "Go tell everybody, Patty." And it's like,
right, Patty. They gave her something to do. That was nice of them.
Yes, from an acting standpoint, I would say you're correct. But now everybody's calling her Patty Melt, which is pretty awful.
I like that.
Thanks for subscribing, Nate. Yeah, no more mole but Sophia. We have that now. We don't need it now that we have her. A dictator, Boyd. I mean, Boyd's going a little bit overboard. I don't know that I'd call him a dictator, but he is going a little bit overboard there.
He
Um,
gave her something to do. That was nice of him.
yes, he did. Maybe make her quit thinking about it, right? Get her mind off of it.
There you
Um,
go.
Either way, they did leave her there. Why they go safer. Thank you, Belle says, I'm totally a Donna fan and will defend her until the end. Yes, I agree. I love Donna. Donna and Jade are my two favorites, and Kenny. I like Kenny too, but Kenny's had like not enough to do this season. Like he's been barely in it, and it's annoying. They need to give Kenny more. But he gets the van, he goes and gets Christy and Marielle, and they run in to help Donna. And they Christy uses the defibrillator on her. They try to bring her back. She doesn't have a pulse for a while. And a
Was
lot of this
anybody else asking where the hell the oxygen bag was? Like, why weren't they using that? I know they have one.
Yeah, but we had a discussion about this last night, and I did not know this. Apparently, that's not the way you're supposed to do CPR anymore, by giving oxygen like that. Because that's what I kind of questioned. Like,
how would they know that? They've been stuck in Fromville.
Okay, but that's a good point I hadn't thought of. But I questioned the same thing, like whether he had an oxygen bag or not, why he didn't at least, give her air. But
I
yeah,
also had a problem. I also had a problem with the defibrillator doing it over her clothes.
Yes, we also talked about that. But like it's a TV show and she probably didn't want to take her shirt off, so I mean that didn't bother me. I mean,
They could have done it in a way that they didn't have to take her shirt off.
They could have, but I don't know. To me, that's something that's like it's a TV show, and that's why.
But those are the little. It's funny because those are the little things that annoy me more than anything.
Okay, that's fair. A lot of people complain about it. I heard a lot.
Funny because it's funny. This is a show about supernatural beings, but it's the reality things that never change, no matter what you're watching, that bothers me.
Yeah. I know, I understand that. And I think some people, from what I heard on Facebook and stuff, I think some people were even more annoyed because Chloe, the one who plays Christy, is a nurse in real life. So, like, why didn't she say this doesn't make sense? And they didn't change it. But I don't know. I mean, to me, yeah. I think some people bothered, some people didn't. So, either way, it doesn't work. She tells Boyd, to stop, that Dawn is gone. And look, you're right that this is a trope. We have seen this in a lot of shows where you think she's dead, the person won't give up, and then she suddenly breathes. But a lot of it is, Boyd screaming, "You can't die until I tell you to die," and not willing to give up. But she does eventually get a pulse, and they need the monitor. So Boyd sends Kenny to get the monitor. What are you laughing at?
Theater's comment.
I had the starred ones up. I didn't see that. We have tons of theories, and AJ talks about Donna's CPR. It is true. We have electrical wires, dolls coming from the lake, but when CPR is done this way, that's what we were.
Exactly, because that's something that doesn't change no matter what the story is about.
So I'll tell you what, on Wednesday, you ask her why they didn't do CPR the right way and see what she says.
I'm not going to ask her because she didn't write the script.
No, I know. I just think it's funny. I don't know. They better not. Gabby says they want us to think Donna's going to die and we'll be shocked when Acosta who dies. Acosta better not die either.
Let's not kill Acosta.
To die. I do not think that they need to kill characters all the time. I know a lot of people feel like it's not high stakes if people don't die, but it doesn't bother me if they don't.
Listen, they got plenty of time to kill people next season. Like from episode 5 on. That's how it's going to go.
Yeah. Lee makes another point we talked about, like you can't do compressions the right way on somebody who doesn't have a heart attack because you can't hurt them. So that part, I totally get, looks fake. But they could have used a doll, like a dummy too. Although that's expensive probably to do that. So, Dieter said, Chloe said she gave input. Okay, I didn't know that, but they didn't listen to her input, I guess.
All right.
Maybe is the problem. Okay. Yes, moving on. Okay. So they need to go get the wires. And Boyd goes to Boyd goes to Jade to get his help because he knows that he will know how to fix it. Now, the only thing I do want to say is Boyd was never around when they figured out about the electricity. So I guess that was told off screen too. And we just don't find that out because I don't understand how Boyd knew about this. But moving on. Boyd knew they needed wires and he got Jade's help. And of course, the body is right on top of the wires that they need. I did love, and I agree with you, you said earlier, I did love Jade's reaction when he saw the body. And Boyd's just like, forget about it. I need your help. Quit looking at the crazy body. But yeah, I think if I was Jade, I would have been freaking out a little bit too. Okay. And then we have this conversation with Ethan where he wants to see Donna and he asks, if she's going to be okay. And his mother's honest and says, I don't know. But then whenever he says, I want to talk to her before she dies, then suddenly she's like, she's not going to die. So she went from telling him the truth to trying to make him feel better. So I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I think these scenes were so sad that Ethan's worried, she's going to die. And when he says, everybody dies. And obviously that's because he lost his father. So that's what it feels like to him right now, right? He's scared he's going to lose her too. And I think Donna's become like, I don't know, an aunt, a grandmother figure, whatever you want to say to him. And he's kind of in a way being mature though, right? I mean, he wants to make sure he gets a target by in case something happens.
To be fair, he didn't get to say goodbye to his dad.
Yeah, so that's what I said. I totally understand the way he's acting. But it's just really sad. I don't know. I think it's really sad about it. But they do let him in to talk to Donna. And that's where they're fixing the monitor there. So they hook her up to the monitor. They don't know how long she's been her brain's been deprived of oxygen. So they don't know if she's going to be okay. And we don't know. I mean, look, after they did scaring us so many times, like they had all the comments with Donna making it sound like something was going to happen. So I feel like we've been scared enough. I think she's going to be okay. I would be really surprised if at this point she wasn't because of the way they did it. But I mean, I guess she could, something could still happen. She did have a heart attack. If she had a heart attack. I know you said she didn't. If she had a heart attack. But I hope she's safe. They better not do anything else to her. Antonio Moore says Boyd's dedication to keep Donna there made all the difference. He spoke life back into her and proved this place has a manifesting quality. So yeah, they like I said, I think that's definitely a possibility. I don't know that I subscribe to that possibility, but it's a possibility. Lee had said Donna was extremely stressed out about the dolls. I had no idea it was killing her. That was a shocker. I don't know if that's what caused this or not. I don't think it's super apparent what did. Some of them we'll go to after. Okay.
Yeah, I really hope that Donna doesn't sit in a coma for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I agree. That would suck. Well, she's awake though. She wakes at the end of the episode. So
yeah, all right, she's awake, but I don't want her immobile for the rest of the season.
Fair. Fletcher had said, and I know we talked about this, can we confirm from the crops Kenny and Jim found the morning after Tien Chen died were manifested by Tien Chen? That's a theory. I think it's a good theory. I don't know that we have proof of that, but I think it's a good theory.
Yeah.
Because we did talk about this, like if her thoughts when she died were something good about, protect my son, could it have manifested something that wasn't a nightmare? It's a possibility, but I don't know. I wouldn't say that it's confirmed in any way. Boyd should have stepped on a doll to dramatically wake her. It might have worked. He thinks screaming at her will, right? All right. Ethan comes in, and this is where he says, he won't forget what she said. Fear is what makes us heroes, and that he'll always do his best to be brave, and he loves her. So yeah, I think this whole thing was very sad. So she leaves.
I'm just gonna put this up real quick. Fletch agrees with that. They hinted at Donna's death the last 2 episodes. If they kill her now, it won't be impactful. Donna deserves better. I agree. That was something else I was saying to Damon while we were watching the episode. I was like, "There's no way Donna dies from this." I was like, "Donna doesn't go out from a heart attack."
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think she's okay now because I feel like if they do something else to her, that's just cruel to us. Like make us go crazy and think she's gonna die, and then she has a heart attack, and then she doesn't die, and then do something like that would just be mean.
Glenn
We're
under
not.
the dumpster.
Yeah, no, don't. Well, but that's also Walking Dead writers, which are not good. So, oops, sorry, I'm trying to turn my air conditioner off. I'm freezing. That's not going off. There we go. All right. So then we have more of the bar scene with Henry and Sophia. And she asks him about the man in yellow, and he says he did horrible things to his family. And they talk about his family. And he says he hopes the man in yellow is rotting in hell. And then she gets up to find something else for the alcohol to make it taste better. Supposedly she's got creepy looks in the scene. And she finds the glass and cuts herself.
Well, she didn't do that yet.
No, I thought that was the scene. Maybe I'm too far
But
ahead in my
as soon as no, so they finished the one bottle. She went to get another bottle. She saw the broken glass. As soon as she saw the broken glass, I said, she's totally going to cut herself and do something.
Yes, we knew that was quite apparent from that. A teenager and grandpa walk inside a gas station. Be nice. Look, it is a very strange scene. I'll just say it's a very strange scene. Yeah, no, that's where she cuts her finger. He goes to get a rag and she puts the blood in his drink. So yeah, we know that no matter what, that can't be good, right? Whatever is going to happen, it can't be good at all. All right, and then we have Randall who's trying to be helpful. Like I said earlier, I like the stuff with Bacta, even if I do feel like these scenes were just to get.
I just thought of something.
What?
You know why the man in yellow likes it when the town starts tearing themselves apart?
Why is that?
Because maybe anger and fear taste really good.
Ew. But I could see that. I say ew, but I could see that. Henry transforms into a night creature. Maybe the man in yellow blood can transform people. No, maybe. I don't know they're going to go that route, but I guess it's possible, Fletch. Is Henry under her influence, or is Henry going to get worms? Whatever it is not good.
There you go.
Better. There you go. Jasmine did say, I didn't choose to be this way. That is true. She did say that. Lee says Randall's always helpful.
But Jasmine's saying that she was manipulating, so.
I know. But it's still true. It's still true that she did say that. But I agree. I think she was just manipulating him. But yeah, I like that from Avenger. I like that that he's not as much of a dick. But I do feel like these scenes are just trying to give people scenes that haven't had scenes, which is why I don't know that they succeeded because they're so short, but at least they're in there. I think the manifestations of good things like crops, mushrooms, Boyd's demands are more sponsored. Boyd often guided, the dog led him to the talisman. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Again, it could be. It's a lot of things it could be. We don't have an answer to. Weird Sophia has to go physical, like with the pastor. Like, how do you explain all the other stuff? Well, yeah, she's definitely.
I think she just gets off on it.
That too.
She likes, the fear and everything.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch for her. It's entertainment.
It is. But yeah, it makes you wonder, like, what exactly she has in store, and like I said, it cannot be good at any rate. And also just to mention that interview with Julia, who plays Sophia, will be up probably sometime this week. I have to first get the Widow's Bay interview up, but Julia's will be next. Yeah. So that's coming. Hey, Code Knox, welcome. Fletcher says it's her favorite part. She has to calm down and witness by herself and to feed.
Yeah.
Lee, drop it on. Oh, okay. Yeah. Go, yeah, Lee, put it in our Discord. And guys, if you haven't joined our Discord, please make sure that you do. It's pinned in the chat. You can get our schedule. Join us for From watch parties, other watch parties, Widow's Bay, all that fun stuff. So make sure if you're not a member, please do join. I'm going to check this yet. All right. Yes, people are finally. I lost my pictures. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. So we have the scene with Sarah and Julie. What? We'll send. Whoops. Sorry, I put it on right when you did. If you don't join Discord, we'll send Roger after you. Please join. Yeah. So this scene with Julie and Sarah, I guess the whole point of this is her, talking to Sarah. And when Sarah asks about what she meant about, she understood how she felt. This is where she said, that something told her she could save her father, that she could change what happened, and she can't do that. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of how she's equating it to Sarah, is in the sense that Sarah heard things that weren't true and followed them. And she thinks, I guess, that something's bad is telling her she can save her father, which like I said, that kind of irritated me, because I feel like whether she can save her father or not, I don't know why she would think that it's something bad feeding her that information. I mean, it's hope, right? It's not. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But did you like this stuff though? I did like the scenes with the two of them together. I think that they were done really well.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed the scene. I did feel like it ran a little too long. Because everything they said and did could have been a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was a little long. All right. So then we have them waiting to see how Dawn is doing. There's a scene where they talk about Fatima that's not really important. Ellis just says that he thinks it's helping her making the golem. And then Boyd goes in to see Donna, and he starts yelling at her again that, she can't die. And did you like this scene? I think we talked about this earlier, didn't we? About Elgin coming in and her telling him to chop the vegetables and everything. That was I like
friggin' Damon. Damon goes when Randall handed him the knife, Damon goes, "Don't accidentally stab out your other eye."
Look, I like I said, I don't know that chopping vegetables when you just lost an eye and having hand-eye coordination is going to be great, but Oh, I like that. Yeah,
we got Scarface and left one eye.
Yeah, I like that. I had not thought of that.
One eye Elgin instead of one eye Willie.
Is a golem working inside Colony House? Did the golem protect Donna? I had not thought of that. I guess it's possible. Yeah, I don't know.
I could see in the vein of the golem, I could see the golem coming to life, like Fatima's life is in danger, and the golem comes to life to protect her.
Yeah, that could happen. Fletcher's right, though. It isn't completed yet, so I didn't think about that. I doubt it.
Elgin might, because Elgin can only see half of everything. He might mistake his finger for a carrot.
Yeah, that's what I would be more concerned with. That's why I said hand-eye coordination. What about the dance?
I was laughing at Maze's comment.
Yeah, I could see them busting out salt. Whoops, busting out salt.
Stop it, Jamie.
Go ahead, you do it. I won't touch it. That would be funny. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be funny. Elgin can only see half of everything. Oh, you guys are too much. You're funny. All right.
Is true. Alyssa has a point.
Colony House
Colony
is
houses
tough.
always seem to have a fast healing factor.
Yeah,
I
but
actually,
why?
I actually, I was actually, I actually made a comment while watching the episode. I was happy to see that Christy was starting to walk a little better.
Finally, but why is she healing so slow? But I guess she doesn't live at Colony House, so
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying in general.
yeah. All right, so there's a lot of Boyd, excuse me, again, yelling at Donna to wake up. But more than this, of him being upset, I really like these scenes. I think that they're acted out really well. But I love this conversation he has with Katri, and it's awesome to see Katri back finally. But I love this story about how he knew Donna knew she had her shit together because she asked him about snoring, and he's like, why is she talking about snoring when there's all these creatures? And she's like, if you snore, they'll find us. And the fact that she was so calm and thinking about that, made him think that they might be okay, and that got him through the night. But he never told her that. So I don't know. I just really really like that scene a lot. And he says that they bumped heads in the beginning. She clearly didn't like him. And when Katri asks him what changed, he says he'd like to think they got to know each other a little better. And he doesn't know what he would do if Donna doesn't wake up. Katri
I love the
starts talking.
I love the scenes with Katri because Katri doesn't pull any punches.
He doesn't.
He's like, listen, not that Boyd listens to him, but
Yeah. May said, I wonder if Katri hyped on his recovery to move Boyd along. Maybe. There is a lot of Boyd. You're right. But I wanted to ask you how you felt about this because, like, do you think that some of this makes it less likely that he's in Boyd's head? Because he does seem to not know answers to some of the things Boyd does, which is interesting. I don't know that it's definitive proof, but it does kind of lean towards that way, that he is something other than in Boyd's head. How do you feel about that?
I'm gonna answer this two ways.
I can't hear you. You're away from
All right, I'm gonna answer this two ways. While I don't think he has said anything that Boyd doesn't know, I don't personally think he's in Boyd's head. I think
Okay.
I think Tom and Katri and Jim, I think they're all whatever. The only I don't think anything has been in Boyd's head necessarily. I'm not saying it couldn't end up being, but it just seems like
like it's more than that, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I question more and more, like, could it really actually be him though? Because we have the whole stuff with Marielle. But it's just a lot of times when they do scenes like this, it is that everything that the person that they're talking to, like, it's stuff the character knows, and that's how they end up saying, well, they were in their head because you didn't learn anything new. But he does kind of question things and seems like he doesn't know everything of Boyd. So like I said, to me that kind of points that way, but I don't know that it proves anything. Neo said, I've wondered if Cautry's like a trap soul there. I think that's the question. It would be one of the things that would be nice to get an answer to, right? And Boyd is talking to himself. That's the other thing is we talked about yesterday, like it would be interesting if Donna woke up and she's like, either says something like, why are you talking to yourself? Or maybe she heard him when they were talking. Like, what if she wakes up and she's like, I heard Cautry's voice? Like, that'd be interesting. And then it would be more likely that, unless it's fully a do, I would think it would be more likely that then he is really there. I question though, like, is he solid? I wish like Boyd would try to, that sounds bad saying I wish that Boyd would try to touch him, but you know what I mean? Because like we know that Jim was solid. Because Ethan hugged him. Now, whether that was the same thing that Cautry is, or he story walked, or whatever, I don't know. But
you know what's funny? I was thinking about. I thought about Tilly in this episode.
Yep.
Because when they walk past the greenhouse.
Yeah, I think the Tilly storyline's over. I hate to say it, but I think they're just gonna move on. I think they need to do something. I think it's annoying, but
Didn't they? Weren't there two bodies when Jim died? Didn't they bury Tilly the same
yeah.
thing?
No, they
Yeah.
buried Jim and they buried the priest, the pastor.
Oh, the pastor.
Yeah,
I feel like there was another time though, like because no, I guess
mm,
not.
no, no, they never, because people have complained about it for a while. I mean, the only thing that we got this season was Boyd threatening Elgin about Tilly. That was pretty much the only. And I don't think he even specifically said Tilly. I think he just said about everything. I can't remember, but that's like, yeah, we've had nothing with that. So the other part of this is Cautry telling Boyd that Jade told him what he needs to do to take the people home, and is he going to ignore that over a missing door? And he seems to be trying to push Boyd into doing something. Yes, okay, that's what I thought. That's why I said I couldn't remember if he specifically mentioned Tilly. Boyd told Elgin he'd blame him for Tilly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So so he's trying to push Boyd into doing something, into listening to Jade. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? I guess we'll find out. But I am glad that he's back. I wish he was in more often, but like I said last night, the only thing is people not being in a lot, it makes it more like, poignant when they are. So I like that they can be ghosts if their souls weren't eaten. Interesting. Interesting. I had not thought about that. So many people were trying to it was the man in yellow. They were. A lot of people are still. I don't think that that's the case, but if Cautry and Tom are trapped souls, shouldn't they pop up to more people? Why does Cautry only pop up to Boyd and Tom to Jade? That's why I think that's their subconscious. That is a good question. But then again, only Ethan saw Jim, and he seemed to be somebody solid. So, but that's a very good question, Fletcher.
It's fair. They might maybe for some there's some rule that we don't know about where they can only pop up to certain people because of da 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 that we'll find out about.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think it would be interesting if Donna commented one way or another, like, why were you talking to yourself?
Yeah.
Or that she heard him or saw him or something. Or maybe something has to happen to you to get you to a point that you can see ghosts. Who knows? But she does wake up, which is the important part of the scene, is that she wakes up. But they still don't know, how she's going to be yet. And they tell everybody, and everybody's happy. So this is what I mean. Like, Patty's there sitting on the floor. Everybody else had chairs. Nobody offers her a chair, right? I just feel bad. I think it's kind of funny, but I also feel bad. Bill says the Ankui and all the other entities are kind of the same. Well, the only ones that can see the Ankui kids, though, are Tabitha and Jade, right? I'm assuming. That's what it seems to be. Okay, so everybody's happy. Donna is alive. And then we also have the scenes again with Henry when he drinks the blood. And he says it's got kick. But what?
No, it's just funny that he's thinking, ooh, this one has kick.
Oh yeah, he does. He does say that. It says kick. He noticed something, that's for sure. But the important part of this scene is that after he drinks the blood, she says, I had the strangest thought I can't shake. That we're trapped in a town. People are trapped in a town they can't escape from, surrounded by monsters that come from the forest at night, and none of it feels real. Have you ever wondered if it was all just a dream? Now, I'm going to assume you had the same reaction I think most people had to this scene. But I will ask you without saying anything. What did you think when you saw this?
She's just trying to get him to spiral. He's going to go running around now. Has anybody thought this is, a dream? And then people are going, it's just cause more mayhem.
Okay. Well, I think most people thought, which is what I thought, like Dieter's saying, Abby, is this what happened to Abby? Because Abby was spouting, this, it's all a dream, and that was what happened to people. My only question was, which is what I had asked people, is if that's the case, though, why would they do that like twice in one cycle? Like, that just happened. That's the only reason I wonder, is it too soon?
Well, technically this is a new cycle.
Well, no, Boyd and Abby's still the same cycle. What do you mean?
Because oh yeah, that's true. No, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I think the new cycle like started when
Every time Jade
well,
and
no, that's not necessarily true though. If the cycle, when does the cycle start? Because I was thinking, I kind of thought maybe the cycle started when the Matthews came, so maybe it is, but I think it's the same cycle. I mean, it's the same people. I have
I feel that the cycle start a new cycle starts every time Jade and
after,
Tabby die.
yeah, after the and or after the massacre. Yeah. Either way, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it definitely makes me think of Abby, but I do question, like, we just had that. Like, is that too had it in story time, not necessarily in showtime, but all right. So Boyd comes out to the shed, and this is where Cautry says to him, like, take as much time as you need. It's not like there's murderous dolls climbed out of the lake and attacked people. I do like that. But this is where Boyd asks him if it's true that the nightmares become part of the forest after people die, and he says he thinks it might be. So he does answer that, which to me is kind of like, I don't know. Like, it could still be that's what Boyd feels, but this is where Boyd says the tip of the spear, and that's what Martin said the creatures that come out at night are. And when he asks him if there are bones of the kids in the tunnel, Cautry says he doesn't know. And Boyd's like, then what the fuck do you know? And this is where he says they're running out of time, which is the same thing the boy in white said. Is also important. I thought we knew that.
Since Nathan died. We
I think
all suspected it. It's just
Nathan
this
died.
is I feel like this episode gives us lots of comfort. The last two episodes have given us confirmation that it is true.
I agree. That's how I feel. And that's why I feel
we gotta remember there's a big difference between us all having strong feelings about a theory and being proven in the show.
Yeah. Just because we're smart and have a good theory doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Yeah, and I consider that answers, and a lot of people don't. Like, I think that's an answer we got. Whether
that's an answer. When something we have questioned has been confirmed, that's an answer.
Yeah, I totally think so. But either way, Cautry again is trying to push Boyd into doing something, and when he says we don't even know if what Jade saw is real. This is when Cautry says some things you just have to take on faith. And he's like, nope, not going to do that. And he runs off and gets the hammer and carries it into the house and starts swearing at everything. Now, I don't know whether he's swearing at the wall, he's swearing at Jade, he's swearing at the town, he's swearing at life. He's like, show me, do what I want, tell me what's going on. And he breaks through, and we see there is a door. I appreciate that they at least didn't end it with them looking into the hole and not telling us what happened, because they very well could have done that, right? That's what I was kind of wondering. What's this La World? Is that how I say that? So Sophia's scene with Henry makes me want to go back and watch Tom closer. We don't know a whole lot about Tom. But yeah, I don't know that it's necessarily the man in yellow, but we don't really know much about him other than Jade saw him, I think is the
I don't think the man in yellow went run. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but it just doesn't seem logical to me that the man in yellow goes back and forth switching forms between the man in yellow and other things.
Yeah. Especially because it was so difficult for him to do. I don't know if I had told you this or not before, though. I remember whenever somebody, and that's why I don't know if you can trust this kind of stuff, but somebody had asked something on social media, like how because, okay, first of all, the fact that the man in yellow whispered to Sophia does not prove all the other whispers are the man in yellow. Again, we had this conversation before, but somebody had said something about why did he need to be close to her then, and they said something like who's to say he wasn't near them before, or something that implied that. I forget exactly what the wording was, but like, that's a problem when they do stuff like that, because then it drives everybody nuts. And like, even if it's the official social media, I don't think it necessarily means anything. And I don't think Man in Yellow was here before now. And I also don't think that probably the people that run the social media channel even know anything or have answers because they're marketing people, So yeah,
I never trust marketing people.
yeah, I know, right? Looking into the hole is very lost. It is. But didn't they end that episode though of them just looking down the hatch and we didn't get to see what it was? So that's why I said I at least appreciate we got to see it. The world says I don't trust Cautry because Boyd basically said he told him something and he doesn't remember.
I don't remember a lot of shit.
Yeah, he asked if he remembers that scene. He did say that. That's interesting. And I had not thought of he did say that. But yeah, it could just be he really didn't remember, or they wanted us to remember, so they reiterated it. But yeah, I don't know. Just because it took a human form doesn't mean it's not an entity anymore. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, anyway, we get the shock of there's a door back there. So, and yeah, like I said, my bigger question is who blocked off the door more so than there's a door, and is that, what does that mean? The world said that doesn't mean it's his natural form. That's just the form we saw on screen. He had a suitcase for the suits. So that implies he changed into the man. I think we don't know, period. I think the man in yellow could be his fifth identity. It could be his real identity. It could be he doesn't look human at all. He looks like a squid monster. I feel like you're right. That doesn't, but
he's
I
a
don't
spider monster.
No, but I don't think that necessarily disproves that it's not his identity either, is what I'm saying. Like, I just don't think we know anything.
Oh, I don't care about his real identity or anything. I'm just saying that based on everything he's said, he's had this man in yellow form since 1978, maybe even longer.
Maybe longer, yeah. I don't think he's human though. Like I know we will say like
no, he's definitely an entity. He's not human. He just takes human.
I know, because when we're talking about it, like sometimes people say cannibalism. I'm like, yeah, but it's not cannibalism if he's not human. So
yeah, he's not human.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way: if he was ever human, he's not human anymore.
Right.
How about that?
Right. Lee says this form, I think, is a spirit or a haint. I don't know what to call what he is.
Yeah, I would.
Now we're going into the old man in yellow season. I know you guys think that.
All right. So Fletch and Scarlet are going to start.
Sorry. Go ahead. I didn't. His real identity is Ethan. I didn't know you were going to talk about it. I thought you were just putting it up.
Scarlet and Fletch need to start something because they're going to their graves on this one.
Yeah, no, they're going down with that ship. That's what I said.
Scarlet is definitely. Scarlet's already said it. Scarlet said she doesn't care. She's
no. I like that they have conviction. I don't know if I agree with it, but I like that you guys have conviction. All right, we'll do a few more chat. I know we're getting at 2 hours, so we'll probably pretty soon have to wrap it up. But let's. Fletcher had said, "Are we supposed to forget that 2 scarecrow monsters literally escaped? Like they can come back. Why didn't Ellis go after them and kill them? Let's just let them go away." I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, they might just pop back up. Fletcher.
I like that. I like Dieter, what Dieter just said.
What?
Kill the boy or kill the Boyd.
Kill the Boyd. That is funny. This was about what we said before. Sophia should have already struck. It's taking a while for her to do whatever she's planning. I feel like they're going to stretch that out till the finale, though. Like, for the most part.
I agree with that. That's what I was saying at the beginning of the night, that I just feel like she kind of, I don't want to say she bores me, but it's just like she's not doing enough. Like, cause more havoc, please.
Well, maybe she will. I don't know. I just feel like she's biding her time and waiting. But yeah, she likes to watch though too. I feel like a lot of it is just her watching the people.
She's a voyeur.
Right? She's what?
She's a voyeur.
Yes, she is. But I feel like a lot of it is just her watching people fuck themselves over, to be honest. The latest episodes have been more about Jade than Boyd. They kind of have been, but there's been an awful lot of Boyd, right? There has been an awful lot of Boyd.
I disagree, Fletch. The crows were going wild. They were saying, "Don't come here, stay out, go away."
And then we go back to, are the crows good? Are the crows bad? Are the crows souls? Are the crows? So many questions, so many questions. Fletcher said, is it really Donna? What if something took her physical body as a host?
That's interesting.
That is interesting. I think he was more joking, but it is interesting. Because yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of shows that like when something like that happens, they're susceptible to things.
Hey,
Like
listen,
maybe
joking
children.
about something can turn into an answer. I remember I made a joke on Lost once, and it was an answer. So
You never know. You never know. Okay, let's see. I think they are all in a nightmare. Dying is surviving. I think this is a fucked up mystical curse made by these kids that were killed by their parents. I mean, that's what Abby kind of thought, right? So, and now maybe Henry thinks that too, that they gotta, that
well,
it's
we'll
not
just have to
real. We
wait
don't
and see
know.
what.
Yeah, no, we don't know. I'm just saying, it does make me think of Abby. I just don't know that they're going to go down that road twice. That's the only reason I question that. But he might think that too. I guess we'll have to see. RC says, I believe Donna died and came back with answers. Again, we're going to have to wait and see, but that would be a very good storyline.
Not too many answers though. There's still 14 episodes.
Yeah, still 14 episodes. We still got a bit left. What does Henry drinking Sophia's blood going to lead to? Yeah, other than the whole Abby thing, I don't know, but I do think maybe it could just be, I mean, couldn't it just be like it controls him or something? And like she can make him do things? Although I don't know.
Break the cycle.
Yeah, but I also wondered, like, why would she need to? Because up until now, they've just used the whispers and stuff, but I guess it could just be a faster way.
It could be a different thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna have a physical effect on him.
Yeah, it might, or it'll kill him or something, which, so I know a lot of people think Henry's a goner. In actuality, I don't see how any of the people can stand a chance against the entity man in yellow. We talked about it before. It could have a bad ending. We don't know. Don't take away the favorite part of the cycle from Sophia, them tearing each other apart. I'm not sure what exactly that was in reference to. Some of these we should have went through earlier. Ethan is the only survivor, and his dream in the pilot is him dreaming about that. He saw pictures of them on the wall. Victor's only drawings of dead people, so Ethan is probably alone. Like I said, I sure hope not. Randall doesn't want Julie to have a seizure and die, but Julie needs to tell people about what she's discovered. Will Boyd ever learn that Julie? Oh, we talked about that. We put that up earlier. Sorry. Jay says Sophia was looking for Boyd, so he supposed to get the blood moonshine cocktail instead of Henry?
I think she just told Henry that she was looking for Boyd.
Yeah, I think it was just. Yeah, I think it was just a reason for her being there, but why she followed him into the bar, I don't know. There are no monsters, but the ones they create. Overcome your fears, become a hero, beat the crap out of your monsters. Well, it could all be a story, that Ethan or Julie or both are telling. I still do like the idea that Ethan and Julie wrote those books. So that makes sense too.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. That doesn't make any sense to me because, while you can argue about story walking be time traveling or not, she can't stay there.
What do you mean?
How does the book go back in time?
Well, I don't know. I just figured it could be something that happens like we haven't seen yet. Like later they do something and write it in the future and then go back and plan it there or something. I don't know. That was kind of my thought. They brought the totems to the town. 2 doll monsters ran away. Do you think those 2 dolls will join the night creatures and attack them in town now? I think they're like
Probably
the
not.
forest. Like I don't see them coming, but I do kind of question the one thing that I wondered when they did that is, wasn't it bad they removed all of the totems? Like, what if they're in the forest and they come back, the dolls come back, then they got nothing because they took them all. And I was kind of like, why did they do that? Right. Let's see. Oh, geez. Why would it make sense for Ethan to kill his own father? I agree because I don't think Ethan's the man in yellow, Belle, but a lot of people do. So, well, not a lot of people. Some people do. It's a theory. Fletcher said
I'm
he
gonna
built
poke
the wall. The story
it.
walkers
After that one, I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
JT still wants to know why Libby was in the asylum with Hurley. That is not an unanswered question. That is an answered question. She checked herself into the hospital because she was having trouble coping with her depression after her husband died.
Huh. You're right, she did. I forgot about
Wait,
that.
huh? You knew that?
Oh, I said I forgot. No, I know that, but I forgot a lot of the show. I was thinking when like, yeah, maybe they're right. No, you're right. I just don't remember it. It's been so long. Fletcher says crows are the lost souls of dead people that the entity killed. That's why they were wilding at Ethan when he arrived. And yes, it might be saying leave. That was what he said to that. I get the idea that because Ethan is telling the story that he's sort of the guy in charge, but I don't think that he's the man in yellow.
I'll have to read. I'll have to read Fletcher's.
Yeah. Read.
I'll have to read his full theory, and then I'll tear it apart.
Be nice. Let's see. What do we make of the faraway trees with the bottles? I feel like that's kind of a loaded question. I still said before, and I know you've heard me say this, that I still wonder that the trees are like some kind of portal and that it moves around what's on the other side of it, and that's why they go different places.
Wait, what'd you say?
I thought you heard my theory before. I got the idea after watching the episode of Shield. You know how there was like the portal into the alien world. This rock sucked them in. How like the planet turned and it made the portal move like in physical location.
Gotcha.
So I wondered if it's possible that something similar like that with the trees, that like it's actually in a portal when it's moving around, and that's why it spits people out in different locations.
Interesting.
That's my theory, but that was definitely came from Shield. But I thought of something. You didn't hear me say this, that I thought of that like is like a nitpick that people don't think of. Supposedly the trees always do something different and they don't know what they're going to do, right? So how did Victor know that if he drew a smiley face on the rock that it would fall out of the air? He had no way of knowing that if they don't know what happened.
Yeah, you know, I thought about that when I was doing my rewatch with Damon before we got to season 4, and I kind of let it go. Hey, Fletch, I honestly don't go on Discord, Jamie's Discord, very often, because I have a one-to-one connection with Jamie, so I don't need to read Discord also.
That's fair.
So I didn't know you had a theory on the Discord until tonight.
Yeah, so you have to read it. I try to read the theories. I don't know. You guys come up with some stuff that's like way deeper than I can ever come up with, and I'm like kind of floored by a lot of it. Did Jade and Toby see the tree? We never knew. That is a really, really good question that I still guess, but why did they never tell us that? Huh. Yeah, that Fletcher, that I wish they would have. That's a really good question. We didn't get to hear it, but I would assume,
You know, I feel like
they always see it.
Feel like Jade has mentioned the tree.
Did he?
But we never actually saw them, so maybe that's why we never think about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming because they said everybody did, that everybody did, but you're right. We have not seen it. It's funny they left a pile of food for the town. Get out and take your man with you. Well, I think they should have taken his body back. They can go back and get food. But again, they're going to go back to the settlement to get food. Are they going to carry these totems with them? These heavy totems every time? Because otherwise...
Well, see, I was wondering about that, why they got attacked. If the totems stopped... Like, Jade dismantled one of the totems. Is that why they were... The dolls were able to attack that night?
I know a lot of people wondered that. I don't know.
Because there was a totem out of place?
I just can't help wondering, like I said, why did they take them all? Because those things look like they're fucking heavy, and they're not going to want to take them every time they go on a food run. And are they exposed now, and these dolls are going to attack them next time because the stupid idiots took all the totems back to the town? Just saying. That irritates me.
You know, I didn't understand why they took the totems in the first place.
Because she said she thought they were worth more than a couple of turnips. In other words, because they were a weapon they could use. But the dolls are in town, so I don't see the point of that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't see the point either.
I mean, maybe take like a couple back, but not all of them. right? Like, don't take all of them back. Let's see. Belle says, I have a bottle tree in my yard. I don't think it takes me anywhere, but I do believe it's supposed to trap spirits. I said before, there's one kind of down near my house I see when we drive past. And every time I think I need to take a picture and I never remember to do it. But if I do, I got to like probably blur out the house because I don't want to put somebody's photo of their house online. But there is a bottle tree. And yes, it's the faraway trees, not the bottle trees. That's a good point. Okay. The man in yellow may be able to be killed as Sophia. When she fell in the pole and broke her arm, it could show vulnerability. I think she broke her own arm though. Like I took it that just like how she could,
she jumped in the damn pool.
Yeah, she jumped in the pool, and like the fact that she contorted and pulled all her joints out of place when she turned into Sophia, I assume she just like snapped her own arm. I don't think there was really any. She fell in.
I mean, consider what we saw of his transformation into Sophia.
Yeah. That's definitely what I think. So I don't think that that's to do with that. We have a lot more people live than likes, guys. Come on, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you were in here watching, we appreciate it. I don't think either Toby or Jay mentioned. No, I don't think they necessarily did either, Fletcher, but I think it's just they said everybody did, so you're supposed to assume that. Let's see. I seem to think once you get to the tree, it doesn't matter who's in the car and where the horses and carriages. Yeah, why don't we have an Amish person, right? Or something with a train. There's a train track. Yeah, so.
Why would Toby not be drunk? He was partying with Jade.
That's funny. Yeah. And I agree, Lee. That's kind of what I mean. Like, I think she just snapped her arm. I don't think she actually broke it. All right, guys, we've been over 2 hours. Because I'm assuming AJ, unless you want
I gotta get going. No, I gotta get going.
Yeah. But thank you.
Next week will be different because I am off starting Thursday. So.
Oh, you're not gonna be here next week.
I'm off from work.
Okay.
So I will be more available to stay up all night talking to you yahoos.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind staying answering questions, but I am kind of tired and doing a lot of these. It gets hard. But and I'm doing another one tomorrow. I'm going to be doing Squawking Good tomorrow. That'll be up soon as well. And we're talking more from. But thank you everybody for coming. Make sure you join us tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nice, Fletcher. Make sure you don't forget tomorrow at 10 Eastern, we have our Fandom Access show where we're going to be reviewing the last 2 Widow's Bay episodes, as well as half of the Burrows. And
hold on, not the last. No, your verbiage was
previous.
Not the last 2 Widow's Bay episodes. The latest 2.
The latest 2. Yes. The latest 2 episodes of Widow's Bay we will be reviewing tomorrow, me and AJ, as well as the first half of the Burrows. And then when we're done, yes, we usually have a Widow's Bay watch party for the new episodes after we're done Fandom Access, if people are around and want to watch it. But our Widow's Bay deep dive is Thursday. We have a watch party at 9:30 and a deep dive at 11. These are all Eastern times. But don't forget, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Again, we have Liz Saunders, who plays Donna, coming live. You can ask her all your questions about this episode or what you want to know. And she'll be here and you can talk to her through our, like, we'll talk. I mean, we'll put the questions up, you know what I mean? But anyway, so make sure you don't forget to check that out.
But you can only come if you like the episode.
Don't listen to him.
No, listen to me though. Get more likes. Come on.
Oh, like I thought you meant like the episode of From.
No, like our episode of Talisman Terror.
Yes, please do hit the like button if you haven't. It does help. And please hype the videos if you can. Actually, probably hyping the Elizabeth video. So if you save that for this week, that would be really good. I know Fletcher wants to know about Donna's sister. She ain't going to answer that though. You know that, right? She's not going to answer
anyway. So he can hear it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, but I know she's not going to answer that. But we'll ask her. But yeah, make sure you join us live for that. And, hopefully we'll have more lives coming. We'll see. But like I already gave up. But like I said, I also will be putting up Julia Doyle's interview later in the week, who plays Sophia, at least the first half of it. And it's actually not the same actress if you look in Internet Movie Database, but but yeah, I'll be putting that interview up soon, as well as the Widow's Bay production designer. That one will probably go up tomorrow. So yeah, and Wednesday I'm very, very briefly talking to Scott McCord and Robert Joy. So if you have questions for them, drop them in the Submit Talent questions channel that's in our Discord. And I'm going to
Love you
try to
too.
pull
Bye.
one from there, depending. It's a very short interview, so I don't know how many questions I'm going to get to, but I will try to do that. So you can drop them in there. And if you're not a member of our Discord, please make sure that you join. That's the big thing, because then you know everything that we're doing and our schedule and our watch parties and all the fun stuff we do. We're going to be, once Karen comes back, we're going to be doing our trivia, our celebration for the million views and the 2,000 followers, and we'll be doing trivia on us at a party, and it'll be fun. I don't know why I choose. You're funny, Fletch. But that'll be soon. And then, yeah, like I said, Julia's interview will be going up. And if you are a member of YouTube on the Survivor tier or above, you get the interviews a little bit earlier. And I will not before the embargo's up, but I mean, you get them a little bit earlier than everybody else. But yeah, and I'm going to be trying to add some more things to the other tiers. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we hope that you join us again tomorrow night. And yeah, have a good night, everybody. Thank you for coming. Please like the video, subscribe to
Good night, all.
Night, guys. Have a good night.